All right, yeah, we are back, and uh, I'm ready for. We are. You? I don't know. Y'all know I'm scatterbrained. Anyway, we are back for another review for How to Get Away with Murder. We have about 2 episodes left in the season. I just want to apologize for my episode, not my episodes, but my reviews coming in a little bit late. They're always really close to the upcoming season. For example, for the upcoming episode. For example, today's Tuesday, and we know the new episode comes on Thursday. I should have had this up prior to now, but life happened. I've been on a little mini vacation with the boo thing, with baby. Um, and I felt like editing. I ain't have felt country. I didn't feel like editing a video. I already had my notes done. I don't know why I'm telling y'all because y'all don't care. But I'm gonna tell you anyway. We have been watching the Umbrella Academy. So if you have not seen that, watch it on Netflix because it's really good. I'm just gonna spoil it and say the ending is disappointing, but watch it anyway. Okay, moving on. All right, How to Get Away with Murder. Annalise's mom is visiting. Is visiting her when the investigators call in. Ask her to come in and to write her plea down, for immunity. And then she has to go in and tell them everything. So, this episode goes back and forth and it jumps forward and backwards. So just take a pause for the calls. We'll be jumping back and forth between Annalise, battling with immunity and at the house and blah. Y'all know how it goes. Anyway, so Frank and Gabriel are talking, and he tells Frank that he didn't want to go home for the holidays, because he wants to protect his mom, and he knows if he goes home, his mom's gonna ask him a bunch of questions. Whatever. All this happens simultaneously. Bonnie is at Ron's funeral because we know that they've now found his body, and his mom is saying all these great things about him and that he's with his father now, and Bonnie is absolutely distraught at this point. I hope she doesn't break, but she could potentially break any moment now because, everybody has good characteristics. So now that she's in touch with Mrs. Miller, she's found out all these good things about Ron, but he still helped get an innocent man murdered. So don't feel too bad, sis, because I wouldn't. Anyway, all right. So Mrs. Miller asks Bonnie, what she knows, because Bonnie asked her about the governor prior to it being on the news and anything else coming out. So she's kind of giving herself away. Her story's kind of unraveling at this point. She should have never said nothing about the governor, but whatever. Mrs. Miller's, she's emotional. She's saying whoever did this, they should get the death penalty. And obviously it was Bonnie, so she's definitely going to be in her bag about that. And the news back at the house lets us know that the acid that was used to melt Ron's face off or whatever was done was used in a similar murder by a family that works closely with the governor, which is, I guess, like a mob type, hitman type family. And it was kind of smart that Nate used that acid. We also later found out that the dirt that is on Miller's tires that they found in his car was also dirt that is found at that same family's construction site. So Nate did a really good job kind of taking the attention away from them and kind of putting it on that family and the governor. Moving on. Annalise tells Nate that they're offering her immunity. She claims she won't be taking it, and he thinks that she will because she hasn't had any qualms about putting him in jail like she has done in the past. Even though she's gotten him off, she hasn't had any qualms about letting him take the fall. So he doesn't think that this time will be any different. And her mom kind of overhears what she's telling Nate. She don't get all the details, but all her mom knows is that she better not be hurting Nate because he's a good man. And y'all know Annalise's mom kind of wants Nate and Annalise to be together, which I don't know how. You already got me in jail, and I guess technically she's the reason that Nate's dad got killed. So, girl, don't nobody want to be with Annalise at this point. All right, so Connor's mom shows up for the holidays because none of the other kids, none of the other kids are going home for the holidays. So she's decided she's going to show up. They kind of trick her out of her phone in order to delete the photo of Nate and Miller, which thanks for doing that. Frank also stops by to tell them that Gabe is going to be with them for the holidays, not because anybody cares how he feels, but just because he's less likely to snitch to the investigators while he's sitting home alone for the holidays. All right, so the investigator lady, what is her name, Claire or whatever her name is, the investigator lady, she shows up at Tegan's house, and she asks her, does she have any information on Annalise? She still needs to know, like, what do you know about Annalise? What's new? You know, help me take her down, basically. And Nate tells Frank about Annalise's immunity offer being on the table, and he thinks that she should take it since, you know, Frank believes that Annalise should take the immunity option because she's the only one that technically she hasn't killed anyone. She's been helping cover up all these murders, but technically Annalise has not killed anybody since season 1 until now, or that we know of so far. So he thinks, you know, she's the only one that should be, I guess, safe from when this whole thing blows up in everybody's face. Whatever. So Bonnie is at Annalise's get together, and she's in the bathroom. She's kind of having a little breakdown. And Annalise notices that when she comes out of the bathroom and tells her, hey, you shouldn't have gone to the funeral anyway. You know, you wouldn't be feeling like this if you had never gone to Ron's funeral. Which is everybody's sentiment at this point. All right, so Tegan also shows up at Annalise's house, and Bonnie's afraid, you know, that they can't trust her because she's already, she's already Jane Doe, and she's already snitched to the investigators. Granted, it was on Laurel's dad, and it helped out their cause last season. Who's to say that she won't snitch on them this season, which is definitely a valid concern. All right, so Crawford, which is Annalise's boss, which he's been hanging around a lot lately, and being more interested in Annalise's personal life. But Crawford, Tegan, Bonnie, Nate, and Annalise's mom are at her house, and her mom is telling this great story of how Annalise is giving, and she's always been giving, and how she didn't eat her lunch at elementary school, because she was giving it to a homeless man on the route to school when she walked to school. And, you know, once everybody leaves, Annalise is kind of, I think she's tucking her mom in or whatever, as everybody's kind of fading out of the, sorry, I didn't mean to shake the camera. As Annalise is fading out of the party, she tells Nate that was not her in the story, which is easy to believe that her mom got her mixed up with somebody else, considering her mom has had dementia and has had problems with kind of veering off and not being sure of what her reality is recently. Tegan moves on, and she talks to Bonnie, and, you know, they're at the party, and she lets Bonnie know that she offers her condolences on Ron passing away, as we know that they were dating. However, Bonnie wants to know how Tegan knows that they were together, considering it wasn't public knowledge, and, you know, nobody should have known that they were dating. And Tegan, you know, lets her know, hey, the rumor mill did let her know that they were talking, and everybody knew. I guess it's Tegan's sentiment. All right, so back at the range, Connor's mom is spilling her guts about her and Asher, and, you know, she's had a little bit too much to drink at the other holiday party over at the house with the kids and the students, and she's also scolding them for not being at home with their parents for the holiday. And she wants to know why, and she's just questioning them, and she's just being a drunk hot mess at this point. All right, so the investigator shows up at Oliver and Connor's house with a warrant, you know, basically confiscating all of their wedding photos, which great, because they've deleted the photo out of Connor's mom's phone, and they've deleted all traces of Nate and Miller being in attendance from the wedding photos. So that's good. So yeah, they've submitted the photos, and now they have a warrant to look through them. All right, so back at Annalise's house, everybody has started to filter out of the house. Actually, everybody's gone at this point except Crawford. He's packing up leftovers to take back to his hotel. I thought they were all in the same city, so I don't know why he'd be living. He would be staying at a hotel, but I missed that part. I might have blinked for too long. And he tells Annalise, thank him for making him feeling at home, and things get a little bit awkward and flirty, and it looks like they're about to kiss each other, but it doesn't happen, and, you know, yeah. So investigators are back at the house, and they're scanning the photos, and while they're doing that, Laurel's upstairs, and she pulls the bloody blanket out, and she puts it on Christopher, and then she puts another blanket on top of him, I guess in in case they have a warrant to search the house, or they end up searching the house, the blanket is on the baby and nobody will probably strip a baby down to search him. I guess I'm just assuming this is her line of thinking. But my line of thinking is you should have threw the shit away to start with initially. Laurel's, I think Laurel's going to be the downfall. Everything's going to come to a head and everybody going to go to jail because she's so emotional and she be doing dumb shit. Anyway, moving on. She should have thrown it away. Connor's mom, she starts asking a lot of questions and she's freaking out because I guess she somehow realized that Connor and them deleted the photo out of her phone and she don't know what's going on. So she's kind of freaking out about that, and Connor needs to offer her an explanation. At the same time, Gabriel's upstairs and he's talking to Michaela, and he's still begging her to tell him stuff about Sam, like everything you know about Sam, just tell me. And she's kind of flashing back to when Sam grabbed her and he ended up getting tossed across the stairs, ultimately to his death. So she's not interested, and he tries to level with her and tells her, hey, we know you were adopted. What if I know anything about your birth parents? Would you be willing to give me information in exchange for that, basically? And she's not having it. She wants to move on, and she's not willing to say anything about Sam, even if that's at the cost of learning something about her birth parents. All right. So now the investigators are taking Oliver's computer as a part of the search warrant, and everybody's kind of freaking out, and they're saying, "Hey, Oliver, are they going to be able to hack your computer?" And he's like, "No, only I can hack it if I have the passwords." Which anything can possibly be hacked these days, so I don't know how that's going to make them secure, but that's his explanation. All right, so moving on, and Bonnie she tells Frank she's feeling dizzy and she's been feeling nauseous and she's not feeling good, so I guess that'll lead us to assume that she may or may not be pregnant by dead man Miller, Ron Miller, and let's just hope she's not pregnant, because she's also in her feelings and she's not ready to take a test to find out whether she is or isn't. All right, so back at Annalise's house, Nate is talking to Annalise's mom, and she lets him know she's sorry about his dad passing away, and she gives him a stack of letters, which are letters that her and Nate's dad have been corresponding back and forth, just on some pen pal stuff, very innocent. That they started writing, I guess, after the Supreme Court case started, and she just gave all the letters to Nate and let him know, like, your dad was really proud of you, which, I guess Nate could definitely appreciate kind of hearing from his dad in the afterlife and kind of reading how proud his dad was of him. And the mom also kind of implants an idea into Nate and Annalise's head, letting them know, like, hey, if y'all got married, then you guys wouldn't be able to testify against each other under the spousal privilege, because she knows, like, Nate is in some trouble. She don't know what it is. Annalise may have to snitch on her, but if they get married, they don't have to tell on each other. So she thinking she got dementia, but she got a good head on her shoulders. All right, so at this point, Connor's mom is, like I told you guys earlier, she's freaking out about the FBI showing up, and she is demanding the truth. And of course Connor isn't going to tell the truth, because you know how many people die when they learn the truth about this group of people. You don't want to know the truth, girl. But he feeds her this line about the government, that because they went to the Supreme Court, the government is out to get them, and they're willing to fight for their rights, and blah blah blah, whoop de whoop, and she believes it. Anyway, Annalise's mom is packing up to leave. And Annalise tells her mom that Gabe is Sam's son, and her mama tells her that the only way she can save herself is by saving someone else, which is, I guess, letting Annalise know that her lot in life is to serve others, or to help and to save other people. And she wishes Annalise knew what it was like for a mother to love a child. However, she doesn't. So all she really has right now is Nate, and looking out for the students. And also lets her know that she can never love herself if it means hurting someone else. So I guess she's just making a last ditch effort to let Annalise know, like, hey, protect Nate at all costs, basically. Which, in this grand scheme of things, Nate is definitely a national treasure and should be looked after everything he's done for Annalise. But we know everybody's disposable to Annalise, so we'll see. All right, so Bonnie finally takes the pregnancy test. She ain't pregnant. whatever. Annalise is at the police station, and I don't know if she's ready to go ahead and implement the immunity or whatever. We never get to that point. So Nate's reading letters from his dad and kind of, learning how his dad felt about him, which is all good things. Moving on, just, that last 5 or 10 minutes is just a summary of everybody's storyline. Laurel calls a special agent, and she got that damn blanket in her hand, so I'm thinking she about to snitch. But we don't get to finalize that conversation either. Tegan is basically snitching on the lead investigator, and her name is Claire. Claire was the lead investigator. Well, we realized when they were in the car together and Claire was on the phone with Annalise, Tegan was sitting in the passenger seat, and I think Tegan finally realized, Claire was more interested in taking out Annalise than actually hearing what Tegan had to say, so she decided to switch up the game right quick, and she seduced Claire. So she seduced Claire, and they ended up sleeping together. And she came up to her in the car, and after they got off the phone with Annalise, and but this is basically her tactic to get them off the trail of Annalise and kind of buy some time and then to figure out another plan. And she asked that she be reassigned to a new agent. Tegan wants to be reassigned to a new agent because basically at this point Claire has been unprofessional and she can't be trusted to lead an investigation because her and Tegan have slept together. And that she also has a history of misconduct, coupled with the fact that there's footage of her placing evidence in Gabriel's home, and now she's stuck with a material witness. All this has discredited her, and she's been taken off of the case, which she's starting to realize, hot damn, I've been set up. It's too late. It's too late, girl. So Tegan, tells Annalise that Tegan left the party early, and we didn't know where she was, so that's where she was. She was, snitching on Claire and lets Annalise know that she's going to help her out. And yeah, so Annalise gets a unknown call, and she's supposed to show up somewhere, and she goes to that church, the same church that Ron ends up dead at, and I think it's the same church that the wedding was at for Connor and Oliver. And we see this lady turn around. It's the governor. The governor is there, and she says, you know what? She wants to end all this. She don't want no more parts. She can't be bothered with Annalise anymore. They just want to squash all the beef. And she lets her know. She knows exactly who killed Nate Sr. And I want to know who she's talking about too. And she lets us know that it was Crawford. Crawford, mind you, is Annalise's boss that fought for her when she was going through this whole thing, coming off of the legal battle from the Supreme Court. He was the only law firm that would hire her and the only person that gave her a chance. So Crawford is Annalise's boss at this stage of the game. But keep in mind, Crawford has been uncommonly, he's been very mysterious lately and very interested in Annalise's personal life, as opposed to where he has never been concerned in the past. So, which could be a clue. So, according to the governor, Crawford actually killed Nate Sr. Why? I guess we'll find out next time. So we'll stay tuned to the next episode and see how this season wraps up.